Hey, how's it going? It's Rick Williamson. I want to talk to you today about the reason that some businesses are able to charge a lot of money for what they do and they don't have a problem selling it, whereas other businesses with very similar products or services quite often really struggle to sell their stuff even if they're not charging much money. So what's the difference? What is it that the high-end businesses, the ones that don't struggle to sell, what are they doing different? Well, I had an experience recently that illustrated this point perfectly, so I want to tell you about it. Me and my girlfriend Rach wanted our back garden revamping. We saw this advert on TV for AstroTurf grass, and we've got dogs and wee all over the place and it's a bit of a muddy mess. So we got two gardeners in to give us a price for this AstroTurf and to clean it up generally. So gardener number one arrived in the morning and he gave me a list of the things that he could do. So he said, I can pressure wash your decking, I'll fix the steps, I'll replace that muddy grass with this cool AstroTurf stuff, and I'll plant some shrubs around the border. So that was all cool, and he said, you know, I'm really professional, I'm reliable, I've got years of experience, it's eco-friendly stuff. All the things that other businesses say, all the stuff that you just kind of expect, you take it for granted. It doesn't mean that much because everybody says it to sell their stuff. So in the afternoon, gardener number two arrived, and that was a bit of a different story. So first of all, he asked us what we wanted, and we said, well, we just want a nice area to just like chill out with the dogs really and enjoy the sun, and you know, just want a nice place to be. So here's what he said. I will make it so that your decking is not slippy anymore, so you'll be able to go out when it's wet, you're not going to fall on your ass anymore. I'm going to brighten up all of the wood and it's going to be like it was when it was new, really fresh and vibrant. As far as the grass goes, it's going to look even better than real grass all year round, and there's very, very little maintenance. And I'm even going to make it smell like real grass. It's actually going to smell like roses because I've got this stuff that I put on it. And you'll be able to sit on your swinging chair. And by the way, I'm going to plant you a perfect little vegetable and fruit garden behind your swinging chair. So you'll be able to sit in the sun and just kick back and relax and lean over and grab a strawberry, and it's going to just be the perfect little Garden of Eden. You're really going to enjoy it. So it came to price, and I forgot to mention the first guy priced it at $1,700. So this second one, I knew it was going to be more money, and I looked over at my girlfriend Rach and she's like really excited, like, God, what's going to come? So anyway, his price was $3,500. So $1,700 versus $3,500. Now, basically the decision was already made because this guy, what he did is he didn't list the stuff that he was going to give us. He talked about the experience that he was going to give us. That it helped us create the experience of how it was going to be in our own minds. So gardener number one told us what we were going to get and left it to us to think, create that picture in our minds of the experience and how it was actually going to be when we got it. Gardener number two came in and he went straight for the jugular, and he told us he built this picture in our minds of how cool it was going to be if we used him. And as a result, we went with him, and we've not actually had it done, let's hope he delivers on it. But we went with him and paid him over twice the amount of money. So that is the difference between companies that are able to charge a lot of money for what they do versus not much money. I'm convinced that gardener number one actually wasn't much different. They're probably doing kind of the same stuff. Gardener number two was better at creating this picture in our minds though. So that is the difference. Now, if you can tell your potential customers about the experience and how cool it's going to be if they use you, and remove this lot, you can bypass this stage and just go straight in, and it removes friction from the decision-making process. So you can always use the stuff to back up the picture of how cool it's going to be, and you can tell them how you're going to create that. But you want to lead with the experience, lead with why it's going to be so good. So let me give you another example. Now, for those of you that know me, I've got premium price businesses myself, and I only sell expensive stuff now because it's easier to sell and it's just better all around. But I knew why this stuff was working because I do it myself, but it still works. It always works. So let me give you another example. I know somebody that's got a video production company, and we were speaking about it the other day, and very often it's difficult to see what your customers actually want. What experience are they trying to create by buying your stuff? So he asked me, he said, what is it that you want? Like, if I make a video for you, what is it that you actually want? And I said, well, it's pretty simple. If you make a video for me, I want it to make it easier to sell my stuff, and I want to be able to charge more for my stuff. So if you can help me create that experience in my mind of how it's going to be, of being able to charge loads of money for my product and it just being super effortless to sell once I use you to create a video for me, if you can help me create that experience, you've got me, and I'm going to be willing to pay you much more money than the competition. So that way of selling versus what he was doing, which was basically saying he does creative video marketing and list of all this stuff, and he's super experienced, and this is why I should use him, he's really reliable and friendly, and all this stuff that basically I didn't really care about, versus I will create you a video that's just going to make it effortless to sell your stuff, and you're going to be able to charge more money. The two, that's the difference, the experience or the list of stuff, and that is what's going to enable him to charge a lot more money. So think about what you're doing in your own business to help create this experience, this picture in somebody's mind of what they're going to get when they buy your stuff. Now, once you're able to help them create that, you're able to charge a lot more money. Life becomes a lot easier. It's when you're charging a lot of money for what you do, you're able to give them the very best that you've got to offer. You're able to surprise them, you're able to delight them, and it creates a real feeling of pride. It's such a good feeling when you sell something at the right price and you know you can over-deliver and delight the customer and get raving fans. So if you're interested in doing that, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is a tiny little part of it, but I've got two things for you. First of all, there is a live webinar coming up, so you're going to be able to ask questions. Like I said, it's often easier if you've got somebody looking in and helping you with this stuff. On the webinar, we're going to be going into detail of how you take an average product and turn it into something that people are willing to pay a lot of money for with just some minor tweaks, and there's a process behind it. I'm going to be going into that. I'll also show you how to price your stuff and how to make people really want to buy your stuff, and tons more. I've not got time to go into detail now, but you can get registered for that webinar. There's a button or a link somewhere on this page. I don't know where it is because I don't know where you're watching this video, but you'll have to hunt around and find the link. You can click it and go through to a registration page and get registered for a webinar. But if you're a business owner, if you're anything like me, you're massively impatient and you want something now, like right now, something you can do. So I've got you covered, and I've shot a 3-part video series that is going to give you stuff that you can do right now, today, to raise your prices immediately in like a non-risky kind of way. So I'm also going to give you those 3 videos when you get registered. Like I say, the feeling once you can do this, you will never go back to charging cheap prices or average prices again. You'll be way above the competition. You'll have really happy customers. It is the key to freedom, it really is, and to scaling your business really easily, and ultimately just having more freedom in your life. So if you're interested in that, like I said, get registered. I won't take any more of your time. I hope you've got something out of this video. I hope it's given you something to think about. Have a really cool day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you very soon.